It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Get yourself ready for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris. William Holtz, Chris Schneider, Lake TV. Yeah, we could toast with our empty mugs. It is time for this week's show.
Hollywood, man.
Yeah, we got all the props. We got all the, we've been practicing.
Big time money right here.
P's and Q's. All right, so big show this week. There is the first baby born of the year at Lake Regional. Interesting code in Camden County, the Unified Land Use Code. And looks like some fishy business going on within the Camden County city. We'll talk about that. You got to get yourself ready for Eagle Days this weekend. And for the first time in over 2 months, we're going to be talking about a Kansas City Chiefs loss.
How about that?
Couldn't have come at a worse time for the Big Red. We'll talk about that. And we don't typically talk about Mizzou women, but boy, what a win they got. We'll go into that just a little bit. That and a whole lot more on this week's show. But first, this from Slumberland.
Hey everyone, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Happy New Year to everyone. With a new year comes New Year's resolutions. If you're resolving to be healthier this year, come to Slumberland. Let us help you get a better night's sleep and improve your overall health. If you're resolving to spend more time with family, come check out our dining sets, our living room sets, where you can do that in comfort. Happy New Year's and New Year resolutions for you. Come see us at Slumberland at the Lake, where we're bringing happy home.
All right, so you got to come down here to Slumberland at the Lake. Lots of stuff on the showroom ready to take with you today or get it in as soon as a couple of weeks right here, Slumberland at the Lake. And speaking of Slumberland at the Lake, excited to announce we have officially agreed for year 2 of Cup of Coffee. Of course, we still got this show and a couple more to round out our first year, but we will be excited to bring you a whole nother year of these two good-looking, super intelligent. Like when you see a bear, play dead.
Right.
Like super smart.
Right. Couple of yahoos here.
Yeah.
Right? You know, hey.
All year long, we're looking forward to it. It's been a blast. What's been your favorite part of the first year of our show?
I think the favorite part in general has just been the growth of Lake TV. I think, it's just been a phenomenal year for Lake TV and just the growth that we've made in this show, just a part of it. I mean, I remember the genesis of this show last February, sit down working on programming, and I said, we need to do some local shows. Why don't we do a spotlight community spotlight show? Why don't you and I do a show? And that 15-minute conversation has turned into this, I mean, it's pretty amazing. It's been a great year.
It's been awesome. And just kind of scratching the surface. You also got the new coaches shows, adding a lot more schools to that. Basketball in our 4th year doing that. Football was our 9th season doing high school football.
Yeah.
Lots of new things.
And what a great season. All those great games. I think like 6 or 7 of those games turned into classics.
Yeah, it was by far, sometimes, full transparency, in games you'll get a team better than the other team, and typically by the time you get close to half, like the game's over.
Yeah.
Those games aren't fun for anyone. They're not fun for anyone but the team and coaches and fans that are winning. And we didn't have many of those this year.
No, we had some great games that literally turned into Lake TV Classic Games of the Week. You'll be seeing those for years ahead.
Yeah.
That's how good they were. It was a great year in football. And now we've got basketball ahead. Hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. It's already started out well.
Yeah, and some good starts for some of our local teams. Another first-year show that is going to head into year 2 is the monthly market update with the O'Sullivan Bruce Group. Remax Lake of the Ozarks had a ton of fun with Jess and Nicole and their crew. And it's crazy, Chris. That office closed $85 million last year, 2021. Just huge, and I know they're not slowing down. They're really eager, bringing a lot of cool ideas to the table, and they helped me get my house. I purchased my first house last year, and Jessica Bruce and her team, they were awesome. So we're super excited about those. We've got other new shows that are on the horizon. We're already working on pre-production. We're not going to spoil any of those. Of course, Lotto Homes is still going on. We're going to have another one of those with Nicole O'Sullivan coming up. So, so much cool content that we've added, and you went back and revived a lot of some of the stuff in the archives to bring back some great stuff. And so we're glad you guys have made it to this point with us. We're just here to tell you buckle up because the best is yet to come. Wouldn't you say?
I'd say so, yeah. And, it's been a meteoric rise for Lake TV. I think in the last year or 2 years or whatever, and there's still room to grow. But it's been a lot of hard work.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think either one of us took a week off.
Right.
We were here every week for this show.
That's for sure.
And so I know we make it look fun, but it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun. And you might be taking a few weeks this year, so you might get to see some random co-hosts, but don't worry, it's still Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris, but you might just have someone not quite as good looking from time to time.
Yeah, it'd be hard to match that.
Yeah, it would be indeed. All right, so into local stories for this week. nkawaycon Ponder pleads not guilty, and his venue has been changed. Of course, one of the men who was charged in the deadly shooting on the Bagnell Dam Strip is pleading not guilty to charges against him. During an arraignment last Tuesday, Judge Aaron Copen accepted a plea of not guilty by nkawaycon Ponder and also agreed to a change of venue from Camden County to St. Charles County. You'd have to wonder if the close proximity, of course, Camden County to the lake played a role there, played a factor to that.
Yeah, you would think so. Usually they want to change the venue because they think, the press here, the local community will look at it differently than maybe further away. Is that community where it's going to in St. Louis area?
Yeah, St. Charles County, right outside of St. Louis. Now, don't forget, Ponder is charged in the death, not the death, but being involved in Blaine Curley's death, who was shot and killed on July 15th near Casablanca along the Bagnell Dam Strip. It happened after the fight broke out between members of the opposing motorcycle clubs, in which numerous gunshots were fired out, one of which ended Curley's life. Now, the shootout was stopped thanks to numerous law enforcement agencies who happened to be dining during a police convention nearby. How convenient was that? That was going on. And then, of course, Ponder previously bonded out of jail and now awaits a trial date, which is to be scheduled. But just a sad deal. And you remember when it happened, I mean, it was all anybody was talking about. There were stories afterwards of fires, of potential retaliation. So just crazy. But as far as that's concerned, he pleads not guilty, accepted by the judge, and it is moving to St. Charles County.
Don't you find that interesting? I mean, it's on tape that he shot somebody, right? And yet you plead not.
I don't know who was who in the video. It was so hard to tell.
Maybe that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I couldn't see anything close enough to see faces. Of course, I don't know any of the individuals personally, but I don't know what they're claiming. I just know that his plea of not guilty was accepted by Judge Aaron Copen, and as well as the change of venue to St. Charles County. So in a brighter story, first baby of 2022, born at Lake Regional. Atticus Lee Bradford Crowder is the first baby born at Lake Regional Health System in 22. Atticus Lee, son of Kimberly Henson and Michael Crowder of Eldon, was born at 12:56 a.m. on January 1st, weighing in at 8 pounds and 1 ounce, and was 20.5 inches long. You can see the beautiful baby boy right there on your screen.
Atticus, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's named after To Kill a Mockingbird.
Could be.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Was that the dad's name in that book? Mm-hmm. It's wild that I remembered that when you said that. Yeah. Okay, now, as the New Year's baby, this is cool. Atticus Lee received a gift package, including a portable play yard donated by Lake Regional Health System.
Nice.
So, cool way to ring in the new year with a new addition to the family. All right, so here's a weird story. I'm not going to get too far into it because I want to bring this individual on the show in the coming weeks. But Camden County, we've known, has had a lot of, I'd say a lot of drama, a lot of, you could call it corruption, a lot of fight back, a lot of people getting interested and asking questions, especially at the commission's office.
Yeah.
And now I find out that we have what's called a unified land use code. Does that sound familiar?
No.
And it shouldn't, because Miller County doesn't have one. Camden County is the only county. Morgan County doesn't have one, but Camden County has one. They have since 2004. Recently, it's been around since 2004, and it's not been popular locally. Really, it's just an egregious overreach where they want to tell landowners how you can use your land and for what purposes.
Really?
And so it's
Wow.
in place, has been since 2004. Well, recently they have wanted to make some revisions. Not just revisions, they've wanted to adopt entire new sections into this code. The problem is Commissioner James Gohagan of the 1st District, he has not even been involved whatsoever in any of these conversations, and it's been Attorney Greg Williams and Greg Hasty that have been in communication. There's been sunshine requests courtesy of Stacy Shore, and it looks like they're using words that, although legal, are very deceptive, and they're afraid, from what I understand and what I can speculate towards, is that James Gohagan is continually out of the loop in that commission's office because they know he'll inform the public, which is what you're supposed to do anyway. Stacy Shore, she has a new show coming out called The Stacy Shore Show. It'll debut this month on the Key Radio, and I got to talk with her, and I'm hoping to have her on because she says this is huge, and the things that are going on right now are not only deceptive, but they even used her name when they didn't say they adopted it in any of their communications until the letter from Attorney Greg Williams was written to the commission's office. They finally used the term adopted instead of revision. That's where Stacy is really concerned and said it's super deceptive. And I don't know the whole story, but I know that it's big, and I know that it sounds super silly to have a unified land use code. And the crazy thing is, you could actually get charged with a Class A misdemeanor if you're found not in compliance with this code. Your own land, if you're not using it, same thing like a DWI, kidnapping, probation violation, those are all other Class A misdemeanors, and that's what they want you to get charged with, including jail time. So just crazy. I want to have Stacy Shore on because...
And that's happening right in Camden County?
In Camden County, right here. I sent you something earlier you'll want to check out this afternoon in regards to that. But just found out, was working on that this morning. Pretty crazy right before we came on. I want to find out more. I will do more digging for you guys. And then I'm really hoping just to have Stacy Shore come on because when they did the press release from the Camden County Commission announcing what they said then was the adoption of the revisions to this code, they thanked Stacy Shore for her tireless effort, and she said that was fraudulent. She does not appreciate it because she does not believe in this. She sat down in one meeting to help them draft it and then didn't agree with everything they wanted to do. After that meeting, she was never called, never asked again, and they put that at the bottom of their press release. Almost sounds like a little tactic to take a dig, because they knew she wasn't going to like it. But man, I'm telling you what, I like Stacy Shore. I like the way that she does her research. She put in sunshine requests and got numerous letters and emails back and forth between Williams and Hasty. And I'm telling you, there's things going on that we really need to start looking into and questions we need to start asking.
Isn't there an election this year with one or both of those?
I know Greg
commissioners?
Hasty's seat is up this time around, that election in April.
Wow.
So that is, I know that that's a popular seat. There's already been a couple people put their name in the cap for that. And I do not think, if you want to look at approval ratings here locally, that Commissioner Greg Hasty's approval ratings have been real great.
Well, I've sure seen a whole lot of advertising from him lately.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's gearing up for the election. So that's an April election. And it'll be interesting to see how this all plays together in that.
No doubt about it. Another cool thing outside of that, like I said, we'll keep you guys updated on that. We're hoping to have Stacy on maybe as soon as next week.
That'd be great.
Right here on Cup of Coffee. But for this weekend, my goodness, I can't believe it's here already. Eagle Days, one of our favorite events of the year. It's a one-day event again. Ameren, Missouri's Eagle Days returns this weekend. It's a day of free fun and learning about the incredible birds of Missouri. Again, it's a one-day event set for Saturday, January 8th, featuring the live bird programs at Osage National Golf Resort. Now, I changed this year for the first time.
Yeah.
It's also going to take place at the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar right there at the Lodge at Port Arrowhead. Super cool. That's going to be underneath, I believe, in the conference area down below, right underneath the Encore. Now, the World Bird Sanctuary will return to Osage National with the live eagle programs. They're going to be featuring 4 different species of eagles, including a bald eagle, which will be cool. Programs begin every hour starting at 9 with the last program at 3 p.m.
Those birds are huge, man.
Massive.
Their greatness. It is so cool.
Makes sense why they're our national bird.
Can you do an eagle call?
I think that sounded more like
good.
the eagle call than mine.
That's pretty close. But what they put on TV as an eagle call is usually a hawk. Because just an eagle call isn't that impressive. The hawk is the scream kind of thing.
Gotcha.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, just on the
That was
the
awesome,
spot.
man.
That's some very good information. You can probably learn that out or find out more about that this weekend. Eagle Days, Osage National, and the Encore. Going to be super cool. All right, so on to the important stuff. Big story, Big Thunder officially buys OYC, and I know you're fired up. You say this is big.
I do. I think this is absolutely huge. In fact, I think what Big Thunder has been doing the last couple of years is huge. They've kind of been taken over as far as the number one big marine power at the Lake of the Ozarks. So they are the largest marine dealership at the lake. They acquire the Ozark Yacht Club, which of premier full-service marina. Of course, we've been down there.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful place down there. I mean, the acquisition of the Ozark Yacht Club joins Glen Cove Marina. That was acquired in 2016. Lakeport Marina, that was acquired in 2020 as part of Big Thunder's strategy. And what they're saying is to give the most complete marina experience at the Lake of the Ozarks. And it looks like they're doing that.
Yeah.
And the owner said, we're excited to add such a beautiful property. I look forward to developing OYC into a premier destination for our clients. So they're looking to build that up. What's there right now. And Fred Ross is the owner of Big Thunder. Big Thunder can now offer 6 executive level vacation rentals with all of these new properties. And it's interesting too because they purchased the old Niangua Falls, I think, earlier last year, and then apparently couldn't do what they wanted to do with it because they have sold that. In fact, from what we understand from our own Ricky Smith, they sold that back in October to Westside Wharf Holdings. That probably freed them up to buy OYC, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and that's both big. First, Niangua Falls that you mentioned because they did own it. That's a cool property.
Yeah.
Not sure what exactly happened there. They did sell it, but OYC, you've been down there.
Yeah.
That's where we used to have the Lake TV boat with former owner Brett Tentera. He has a Carver, and that's where he had kept it. And so we had enjoyed everything down there from the Lakeside Cafe to the gym, the floating gym that's on the dock,
Wow. Yeah.
Even the slip there. We'd stayed overnight on the Carver before, and it is world class there across the board. And for Big Thunder to now grab that property, it looks like they're going to have to dabble in sailboats. That is the sailboat capital of Lake of the Ozarks. That's where they have the sailboat regattas, but just an incredible property. And of course, those executive level rentals you're talking about are those houses when you come down there. Oh my
They're
goodness.
gorgeous.
And there's a beach right there. I mean, they've got everything your family needs in one little community. Pool, gyms, locker room, conference spaces, kitchens.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big acquisition, and I'm
Neat
sure
little
Big
area.
Thunder doesn't do anything little.
Yeah.
They're going to do something big with this.
So OYC comes with 110 wet slips, right? The fuel dock, regular and diesel fuel, marine service, boat rentals, and the cabins that you mentioned. So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
There's some big money being thrown around out there, man.
Congrats to Fred Ross, owner of Big Thunder, also Jeremy Anderson, general manager. I mean, I will say he has been a huge part of Fred Ross and what he's been able to do. It all started when Jeremy Anderson came in and took over as GM, moved into the area, and he has kicked butt there. He is no nonsense, and so congrats to those guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not stopping anytime soon, my goodness. All right, and an uplifting story, our last local story of the week. Gravois fire officials saved teenager's life in car crash over the weekend. Now, they're being given credit for saving the life of a 17-year-old, Chris, who was, for all intents and purposes, deceased after a one-vehicle accident over the weekend on Route RA. Now,
What? He was dead?
yeah, the patient was unconscious and unresponsive in the truck. Chief Ed Hancock says the vehicle driven by the 17-year-old boy had ran off the roadway before striking a tree, apparently taking the life of the youngster.
Wow.
However, also according to Chief Hancock, His men were able to administer life-saving CPR on the scene. Chief Hancock said, every once in a while we get lucky. I guess everything comes together just right. But I thoroughly anticipated being there all night, waiting on the coroner and the crash team to come. But when they said we're going to the hospital, I said, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
How cool is that? Officially credited as the Angels in Disguise, Captain Matt Holliday and firefighters Brandon Alcorn and David Cooper. Pretty cool. As well as helping them out was Lieutenant Rod Leakey and Chief Hancock himself. Last report on the 17-year-old was that he was taken to Lake Regional with serious injuries, but beautiful was able to take place. We're going to be lifting this 17-year-old up. His name has not been released at this point in time, but it's crazy. I mean, when your chief thinks you're waiting on the coroner and the crash team to get there, and then there's a change of plans, says we're going to the hospital. That's pretty crazy. So
what a gift for that family, man.
Yeah.
Over the holidays, too. Wow, that is so amazing.
Well, it just goes to show how important these heroes are every day that put on the uniform, and you never know if it's going to be a slow day or if something like this is going to be what your day on the job consists of. So good for those 5 individuals with the Gravaway Fire Protection District. Man, give you chills, that story.
Yeah,
just
sure
crazy.
does.
All right, so to sports, something that'll take those chills right away. For the first time in 2 months, the Chiefs do not win, snapping an 8-game winning streak. And boy, they were up 28-17 at the half.
Yeah.
Looked like they had the game, and then second half, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the Bengals put on a show. Jamar Chase's 266 yards were the most receiving yards ever by a rookie receiver. Third most ever by any receiver in a game. Unbelievable. The win drops Kansas City out of that first place spot. Tennessee won over the weekend. They have a head-to-head tiebreaker. So even with identical records of 11-5, KC would have to have Tennessee lose this weekend at Houston. Tennessee and KC would have to win on the road at Denver, which I think they can do that.
Yeah.
I don't see Tennessee losing at Houston.
No.
So it looks like Kansas City will probably finish in the 2 or 3 seed, and they'll probably host a week 1 wild card matchup with the 7 or the 6 seed. But really, I'm a little disappointed. They had the lead, and then as good as the defense has been, they really struggled to find an answer for Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I mean, even Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. Couple other notes from the game. Tyreek Hill finished the game with 110 catches. He broke Kelsey's mark, which he set last year. Most receptions ever by a Kansas City Chiefs player. And then also, probably the most impressive stat, Travis Kelce's 8,972 yards have surpassed Jason Witten for the most receiving yards among tight ends in their first 10 seasons. You want to know what's even more impressive is this is only Kelsey's 9th season.
Wow.
And he's going to absolutely rewrite the record books. Hands down, greatest tight end to ever do it. Can you say amen?
Well, pretty much, yeah. I mean, for a lot of years it was Tony Gonzalez and then maybe Jason Witten. I think Travis Kelce's pretty much taken that crown. He's in the right system.
Even Kellen Winslow back in the day,
Yeah.
Antonio Gates. I mean, a lot of people like George Kittle, but the guy has been the most consistent, great hands, great community guy. A few other things, there were no turnovers in the game. Chiefs got 4 sacks, never got sacked. And Kansas City converted 54% on third down, where the Bengals converted just 40%. Big stat. You heard a lot of chirping about it after the game. Kansas City was charged with 10 penalties. The Bengals only 5 on the day. A couple of questionable calls had the Chiefs fans. But when you look at that third down conversion, you look at they didn't turn it over. Chiefs have 4 sacks, 2 by Chris Jones. They don't allow any. You like their chances to win the game. But it was too much Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I mean, that's just crazy.
Defensive backfield just got torched. I mean, it was crazy torched.
It was bad.
They picked up a 3rd and 27 to win that game at the end of the game.
And single coverage, no help over the top on Jamar Chase, who already stinking had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns on the game. I mean, it was inexcusable. Sometimes when you see a scheme on a certain play with what's already transpired, you're just left scratching your head. There are a couple of those moments in that game on Sunday. Okay, so KC, they'll play at Denver. That game has been flexed to Saturday. It's the early game, I think 2:30 on Saturday. It said 3:30 online, but I think that was Pacific time. So I think 2:30 on Saturday. Going to be an awesome game. And then, of course, Tennessee at Houston is at noon on Sunday. So there'll be a lot of Chiefs fans taking an interest.
Yeah.
Maybe Mr. Davis Mills can upset the Titans, and the Chiefs might get that first-round bye, but don't count on it. All right, so this guy's probably on cloud nine right now. For the first time this year, I'm only 2 points out of first place. The problem is, guess who's all alone in first place?
Back in first place, baby. If I'd won all those overtime games that I lost, I'd be blowing you guys out, man.
Scott Norwood had made that field goal.
So we got
the
1
Giants.
week to go, and really three people. You could win, Andy could win, or I could win the regular season. Then we're going to take this into the playoffs. So
you're up top, 186 points. Andrew and I tied for second at 184.
Yeah.
And here's why you're not getting picks this week. You don't know who picked differently. I don't trust this guy or this guy not to copy my picks, so I can't win or make a jump. So we're not sending our picks over till after the show records later in the week, but we will have on next week's show a regular season champion crowned. We're going to start over fresh for the playoffs. That way Ricky can breathe again, and we're going to let our new office manager and account executive Dave Glendenning hop in the fun because he's a football guru. All right, last story, Mizzou women's basketball. Do you see they upset South Carolina?
Huge. Number one team in the country. They beat them on a last-second buzzer beater.
And they were without their top player, Missouri's leading scorer and rebounder, Asia Blackwell. Didn't even play. She was in COVID protocols. Yeah, so no Asia Blackwell, no problem. Missouri wins. Their only losses this year, they've got beat pretty bad in Springfield to Missouri State, but they lost in overtime at the fifth-ranked Baylor Bears by 2. This team is for real. They're 12-2, and I think they're going to make a run. They could go further than any Missouri basketball team has ever went into the NCAA tournament, men or women.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see the MSU women and the Mizzou women?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
In the Sweet 16, in the Final 8, maybe the Final 4. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
How about they're in different sides and then they play in the national championship?
I do
Mizzou and Missouri
Go
State.
crazy, man.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, so as we look ahead, we told you about Eagle Days this weekend. Make sure Saturday you make plans. It's going to be awesome. Man, I'll tell you, those birds up close are a
How does
sight.
that sound again?
No? Hold on.
That sounds pretty good.
This guy's a mess. All right, so that's this weekend. Now listen, all kinds of cool stuff happening on Lake TV. I'm telling you, what's burning with Kevin KB Burns this year is going to be awesome. We're talking KB in the kitchen, KB on the job, history, finances, breaking news, hot takes, and more. We're excited about this year
Big time.
with what's burning. Also, basketball season is here. Friday is our next game. I can't wait.
Salem and Eldon.
Gonna be
Friday.
awesome.
And next Friday, I think we've got Lebanon at Osage.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
We got some great games this year. Yeah.
And can't forget, one of the coolest shows Lake TV started is the Lake TV Community Spotlight. You have had some phenomenal guests. Warren Sykes was on last week, and he is such a cool guy. Getting to listen to you two chat was awesome. And you've got other great guests coming up.
Yeah, we've got this week, it's the owner of Sunrise Movers, Matt Frisk. Have you ever had to move? Oh, man.
Oh, I didn't have to because of that guy.
That sucks. So we talk about that. Why would you want to get into the moving business? And then next week, Kristen Reed, who is the owner of A to Z Home Services, they're the people that go in and clean up after fire and water damage and mold and
car crashes or whatever.
Murders and stuff
murders,
like that.
Yeah, I mean,
So we talk about all that. I mean, as strange as it sounds.
But it's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Kind of like Reed Millard when you talked about, that from
the whole
Millard
death
Family
process
Chapels.
and everything.
So you really get a cool take on some things you wouldn't typically talk about. Well, we're glad it's 2022. Big shout out to Jill Ray and her entire crew right here. Daryl Cunningham back from vacation. I hope he enjoyed it. Of course, our director of photography is Andrew Evans. Our director of production is Ricky Smith. Our art and digital media director is Megan Albers. This guy is Chris Schneider. Uncle Chris, I'm William Holtz, and I will see you guys next week.